The 90% failure rate. Let's look a little bit deeper into this. Now, I've talked about this number many times before, 90%. Some people will take it up to as high as 95% of people that try to actively trade fail. And I've done plenty of videos about why this is the case. And, heck, that's kind of one of the points with the Clay Trader Mel segment, is to show you a lot of the communications that I've gotten over the years that provide all sorts of data points now where you're like, okay, I can see why that person's probably going to fail, or I can see why that person's on the pathway to failing unless they change their ways. And here is more of kind of a twist on it, where I would say that you kind of have to be very careful with how you look at that 90%. And I'm going to disagree with this person, but not in a you're an idiot type of way. Just kind of, I think they're making a very faulty assumption, and they're making kind of an assumption that I would argue is the exact reason why 90% of people do fail. So let's get to this comment. Failure rates. If they are still at 90%, even with all the professional training people are getting nowadays, maybe there's simply no hope for some people, training or no training. What I want to focus on is the person's premise here that people are apparently getting all this professional training. Now, I'm not refuting the fact that there is a lot of training out there that you can go and get. Some of it good, some of it garbage, some of it very misleading, some of it totally scammy. So I'm not debating, I'm not disagreeing with the fact that yes, there is a lot of training available, but is there, all these people getting trained? I don't think so. I think one of the main problems here is that people think training is watching random YouTube videos, is reading random social media, is reading random blogs across the internet. Who the publisher is, I don't know. I think that the problem is not enough people are actually getting proper training, proper structured education, and that's why those failure rates are what they're at. And that's definitely the catch-22 of the internet, all this free information. Why would I pay for something when it's all free? And I've done plenty of videos on this, and I get it. I'd probably be thinking the same way as you. Clay, you're saying this because you sell stuff. We're not idiots. And that's a fair point. My reply to that would be, I really do believe in education, and I've done plenty of videos on this too, but just in a nutshell, when I decided I wanted to, expand my income streams into real estate investing, I spent, I don't know the number exactly, but I think just shy of $5,000 on real estate investing education, because I realized, structured education, a sequential steps of, okay, learn this, and then you learn that, and then you learn this. Because if you learn this before this, you're going to be so confused, and you're going to, miss out on this over here, and that's going to lead to problems. And that is exactly why this whole free education and trading definitely, has lots of issues with it. Because first off, let's just assume you actually pluck all the good bits of information off the internet, which is a massive assumption on my part, but I'll give you that assumption. But even with that assumption underway, you still have to then, okay, now what order do I actually watch all these and learn about all these bits of information? Because if you start screwing up the order, it doesn't matter how good the information is, you're going to be lost. You're going to confuse yourself, and it's just going to be a mess. Which brings back to the original premise. Clay, how can you say all this? Well, when 90 to 95% of people fail, I think it's because they're not actually getting the right education. That they're out there, meandering around the giant sea of free information. I'm not going to call them stupid for doing so. I mean, I get it. It's free. Why would you look at the internet? There's so much free stuff. I'm not going to pay for anything. I realize the thought process, but I wish more people would stop and think, if it really was as easy as all this free information, then why is it 90%? I mean, wouldn't it at least maybe be like 50%, like half of people use free information and succeed? 90% seems kind of like exactly. And the same thing goes for, I'm just going to, I bought How to Trade for Dummies, and I got it at Amazon for like a nickel. So that's all I need. Okay, if that is all it took was spending a nickel for a book off of Amazon, again, why are failure rates at 90%? I will say that, at the end of the day, some people, they're just not necessarily built for trading. Now, I firmly do believe that there's an area in the market that can fit everybody. But I'll be the first to admit that some people, I don't care how hard they try, I don't care how hard they study, short-term micro day trading is probably never going to suit them because they're just not wired for it. Just like I'm not going to be wired for other strategies out there. That doesn't make them a bad trader. That doesn't make me a bad trader. It just makes us different traders. So I think that there is an area out there for everybody. But the problem is, like I said, it's not a matter of all these people getting professional help and it's still 90%. No, it's barely anybody is actually getting quality help. That's why it's 90%. So like I said, just kind of an interesting take on this, and I can see why they would think that, because again, there is so much free stuff or so much paid for, training available out there. But I honestly don't think many people are actually taking advantage of it, because I know from my business perspective, the amount of people that ask about stuff and want stuff, and then all of a sudden you bring up the fact that, well, yeah, some of this stuff costs money. See you later. I'm out of here. All right. Well, now not everybody does that, clearly, but I've seen kind of the conversion rates in the sense of, how many people say they want to do stuff, and then all of a sudden money pops into the equation, and then, well, yeah, they're just not over here anymore because they take a U-turn and they're out of here because they're off on the search for more free content. So just keep that in mind. 90% does exist, but I think it exists because a lot of people are just getting eaten alive in the sea of free information. If you are out there trading alone currently and maybe are in the market looking for a community to join to assist you in your trading or to just help you, give you another set of eyeballs, then I do have a private trading community where you can trade alongside me and other experienced traders. So what you see popping up on the screen right now is both an information link. So if you click on the inner circle one, that is going to take you to the page where I explain all the details of what exactly come with the community, both the chat room and the newsletter. And then the other image that has popped up is a behind the scenes tour where you can see exactly what is going to be contained within the community. I take you through, like I said, a behind the scenes tour of everything, and that way you'll know precisely what you are getting when you join. So definitely check that stuff out if you are interested and thinking about wanting to join a community, and let me know if you have any questions.